We got some SEO experiments on this episode of the show. I came across this thread on the SEO subreddit. What's the most surprising SEO tactic that worked for you? And it is a gold mine of a thread. Some pretty interesting stuff in here. Some of it very black hat. So if it is very black hat, my quick disclaimer is I don't recommend that. There's one thing that is very, very, very black hat. I'm not going to recommend it, but I am going to share what the lovely people of the Reddit SEO community are saying. And so this post starts, "Hey SEO enthusiasts, I'm curious to hear about the unconventional or surprising SEO tactics you've tried that actually brought great results. Whether it's a unique content strategy, a technical tweak, or a creative backlinking method, let's share our insights and learn from each other. I'll start. At my agency, we experimented with optimizing FAQ schema for niche-specific long-tail keywords. It not only boosted our organic traffic, but also increased our featured snippet visibility. By the way, on one of your pages, there's standard FAQ schema that you should be using. It's very standard. And so this person did niche-specific long keywords. So you might see, is recovery from wisdom teeth removal longer if you're over 40? And then the answer, it would be, an answer that answers that in the FAQ. And that is a niche specific long tail question in this FAQ that is using normal FAQ schema. And so this person said it boosted their organic traffic and also increased their featured snippet visibility, which is what you would expect, because Google also has FAQs. All right, so the top comment in this most surprising SEO tactics thread is, if you just change your theme and code to something else, you'll get a boost. If you just rewrite something and say exactly the same thing in different words, you'll get a boost. 15 years experience has taught me this. My favorite poster in this subreddit, Weblinker, actually commented on this. Weblinker is a legend, just really has some great insights into SEO. And Weblinker said, that's probably because you force each page through the algorithm and it refreshes pages it missed or hadn't updated. And that makes a lot of sense. You change out your theme and code, and Google takes a better look at your site. And then it refreshes pages and judges them upon maybe the new topical authority that you have. So you put up a page or a post when you weren't very authoritative in your niche. A year has gone by. You're more authoritative in your niche because you've been very active. And then you change your theme, and then Google takes a harder look at your content or looks at it again and judges it against your new topical authority. I had exactly this happen to me, and I shared it on this episode. Not exactly, because I didn't change my theme, but I republished the same content on a new URL, content that wasn't ranking before. I republished it on a new URL on my site after building up my topical authority, same exact content. It wasn't ranking before, new URL ranking #1 in like a week or something crazy like that. And I talk about that on episode 666 of this podcast, the SEO trick that skyrocketed my page from number 50 to #1. That was a great episode. I would recommend it. And it doesn't just have to be themes. By the way, in WordPress, you could change your UI. This is what the person is saying. Someone said, what do you mean by themes? And another person commented UI. But then someone also said you can also get a drop. In fact, I've seen far more clients come in that did this and took a hit. There was a debate. The person who shared this tactic said, nah, that typically happens when you change around the internal link structure or change the URLs. Maybe, it's very nuanced. If you change your theme and then it breaks some links or something, or you change the way that your site looks and it breaks some internal links, that will cause problems. If you change your information architecture just all willy-nilly without any strategies, that will cause problems. But that was the first comment. Thought it was interesting. Next comment, and this is, again, most surprising SEO tactics that have worked for people. And actually, I love this one. I advocate this one a lot. Going after keywords that show no search volume in tools, but that we had a hunch people were searching. It's always fun to get 100 clicks a month from a page that most people would never think to create. And a lot of these keywords Or the keywords that are really worth doing this for are keywords that have heavy purchase intent behind them. A lot of people don't want to target purchase intent keywords because they are lower volume keywords. There's just naturally less people who are ready to purchase. And so since a lot of people aren't targeting these keywords, they're less competitive and a lot easier to rank for. And then you make a page, it's not a lot of words, 400 to 500 words. You rank number one pretty easy for these keywords, for these purchase intent keywords. Maybe you're only getting 100 clicks a month. Oftentimes it's a lot more than that, but maybe you're only getting 100 clicks a month. But those 100 clicks a month convert crazy amounts, over 10%, over 20%. I've seen 30%. It's insane because the pages are made directly for these people. And so these SEO tools will say there's no search volume. It does have the keywords in their indexes, but it's saying there's no search volume. But you're like, nah, I think there's some search volume behind this. You make a page, doesn't take you very long, rank number one, and then you get those very, very intentful clicks and visitors. So I like that tip a lot. All right, so this one I shared in a previous episode, as a lot of people recognize this as an SEO myth, but now this person is saying that this works. So this one user, Digital Amara, said, adding emojis to meta descriptions increased our click-through rates. It made our search results stand out and appeal to mobile users. This small, fun change unexpectedly improved our organic traffic and engagement. Do with that tip what you want. Again, I have seen people say that doesn't actually work. Personally, I have no interest in trying it. When you go after purchase intent keywords, even ones that have real search volume behind them, way more than 100. Even when you go after these, just a lot of people don't know how to target their keywords properly. And when you target your keywords properly, it's pretty easy, and you don't need a trick like putting an emoji in your meta description, which I actually just don't really see working at all. But it's not something that I try often. I could be wrong. So this next one is pretty wild. It's actually a well-known black hat link building trick. Oh, it's not. No. It's not black hat unless you do what the last person says. So it can get pretty black hat. But, backlinks give websites authority. Generally speaking, the more backlinks you have from high quality, relevant resources, the more authoritative Google's algorithms see you, and the more you can rank for competitive keywords where other authoritative websites are targeting those same keywords. That's what a competitive keyword is. And so one person said their surprising SEO tactic was using scholarship offers for EDU backlinks. .edu backlinks are trusted, they're rare, they're high authority. Google really favors .edu backlinks. And so using scholarship offers for these .edu backlinks. And then the next person commented on this and said, oh, I've done this before. Essentially offer a scholarship. It could be $500 or $1,000, could be whatever the business can do. And then work with schools with a .edu domain. So you want to get a school that has .edu for their website to link and offer your scholarship to students. So you'd reach out to universities and colleges. You'd ask them to list your scholarship on their financial aid or student resources pages. These pages are on .edu domains, and then you get links. And the person continues and says, if you want to get even crazier, use that page you're using for the link as a link funnel to only specific pages. Slim down the menu and only have 2 to 3 interlinks on that page, your most important pages, so that the majority of strength passes through those. Hell of a tactic. So basically, you are getting these backlinks to go to a specific page on your site. You're building up link juice, so more authority, and then you can direct by interlinking from that page to different pages on your website. You can direct where that authority goes. So if you have pages that are targeting more competitive or important keywords, maybe you're only linking to those pages on this page that is receiving these powerful .edu backlinks. And so somebody else commented on this, and this is where it gets really dark, and said, old AF tactic. You don't even need to hand out the scholarship. I've had some regretful recipients and will never do it again. F them. You'd think they would be grateful, but no. That is a common tactic for getting links. Here's another surprising SEO tactic: traffic from gateway pages, local gateway pages for e-commerce stores. We rank top 3 for city plus keyword for most cities. And so somebody said, what's a gateway page? And the person who shared this tactic said, a web page designed specifically to attract search engine traffic and redirect visitors to a different site or page. These pages are typically optimized for specific keywords or phrases to rank high in search engine results. The thing is, Google typically doesn't like gateway pages, but gateway pages can totally be fine if they are high quality and you actually make a page that is very useful for the keyword that you are targeting. The problem is most people don't actually do that. To me, this tactic is a no-brainer. You have an e-commerce store, you have items that can be relevant to different cities. Yeah, make some pages that target the most popular cities. Don't spam it. But I will say, I had on the founders of Shoot. They rank for keywords like, and that was episode 651 of the show. Apple crushed their ads, so they learned SEO and hit $10 million ARR. They rank for keywords like photo shoot NYC, photo shoot Boston, photo shoot Los Angeles, photo shoot Miami. And they have this page on their site targeting these location-specific photo shoot websites. And the page doesn't have a lot of text on it at all. It's a very small page, very short page. But that's high quality, and Google likes that stuff. And then the last one I'll share, and I like this one too, existing keywords, and this comes from the Trout91. Existing keywords are a great way to get into SEO. The real trick is finding and thinking of keywords and search terms that users are going to look for before they are even a thing. If there's a cycle of content times 2024, content times 2025, start preparing for content 2026 before users are even searching for it. It's a good way to beat the competition to something early and get an influx of traffic. It's likely you will get outranked in the long term if you are not a huge authority site, but it's worth the work and a good way to future-proof your site. Something I don't see people mention on here often. And I really like that tactic. So an example would be, let's say that you are some shoe fashion brand or something, and you target the keyword and the year is April 2025, you make a post, the most popular shoe brands in 2026. And basically you are tackling that keyword early. And if you're not a high authority site, you'll get outranked later on, but because you are targeting this keyword that will be high trafficked during the high season, you'll at least get a bunch of backlinks early on for this page that you create, for this post that you create, and a lot of traffic. And you might end up ranking in positions 1 to 3 for it anyway. That happens all the time for people who target these date-specific keywords, who target them early. That happens all the time. So this is a cool tactic. This is a cool thread. I am linking to this thread in the description for this episode. This is episode 746 of my daily digital marketing show. If you want to go deep in SEO and shave off many, many, many years learning how to do search engine optimization that gets customers, users, and leads, check out my 13.5-hour SEO course, compactkeywords.com. That's all I got for you on this episode of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.